This is the story for News BTC. The popularity of XRP skyrockets. The separation of Ethereum and Bitcoin has begun. I have some thoughts about this one. Also, I'll give you the thoughts of a few different XRP chart experts. One of them wants $34 per XRP. It's not crazy, but I don't know if that will change this market trend, as I always say. That kind of thing does happen, like crazy rises to the upside. And the thought of it, especially since there isn't a limit, would seem strange to me if that never happened. That doesn't make sense. XRP will never get to $34. Ever? Never, ever, ever. Not likely at all, huh? I believe that the growth of cryptocurrencies is still in its early stages, and XRP is one of the most useful cryptocurrencies ever made. In 50 or 100 years, people will say, nah, you were pretty early, even though it doesn't seem like it now. Just a thought. Also, compared to what has already happened, the amount of money that will come in will be huge. The asset class went down a little after hitting a new all-time high of $4.1 trillion today. As I said in my last video, it's true for all crypto assets in that group. After all this time, it seems odd that the asset class's market value doesn't go over $100 trillion, even if it doesn't, please. In other words, XRP will be a part of that after that. So the idea that XRP will never hit $34 is ridiculous to me. I'm not sure if this run will see it or not. We could talk about a lot of things. Have any of you seen the story going around? I just wanted to quickly bring this up because it's so interesting and shows how even the smartest person can make a bad mistake that regular people like you and me make all the time. We knew it wouldn't hold up, but here it is anyway. It's not this title either, but please read this. This comes from Decrypt. Harvard tells everyone that it has put $116 million into the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. Okay then. I have to say I'm still not really excited about Bitcoin. Having had it since 2017 makes it one of my more important jobs. It doesn't really get me excited. The height won't go up much from here. I tell them I'm thinking about percentage gains, so it doesn't matter if it goes up to 150 or 200,000. I don't know. At this point, I don't think it will go high anyway. I'm glad to see this though. I hope Bitcoin works out, and I want the whole class of crypto assets to do well. So following its growth is interesting. An exchange-traded fund, ETF, that tracks Bitcoin is getting $116 million from Harvard. This story, which has been shared a lot on social media, is what makes it funny. It was taken on March 5th, 2018, which is over 7 years ago. And this is the story on CNBC. A Harvard economist says that in 10 years, Bitcoin will probably be worth $100 instead of $100,000. Okay then. I have no idea how much Bitcoin was worth in March 2018, but the hype is over. It seems to have been at its best point of $20,000 in late 2017. It went down to about $3,200 by the end of 2017-2018. Because of this, he probably thought he was very smart at the time. This is really funny to me. It has aged well, like good milk. I just felt like bringing it up. This person studies money and economics. You just need to get it. I didn't read the paper, but the economist said that he was. He made the following case. Yeah, there's really no use for it though. Money laundering is something that people do in addition to not paying their taxes and other bad things. For some reason, he thinks that there is no other use for it, which is crazy. But the truth is that Bitcoin's features have been good enough for people to keep investing in it for 16 years. It had been that way for 9 years at that point. Because of this, you might think you're better than the market just because the price is going down. He is also a Harvard scientist. He's not stupid then. He just thinks a very stupid thing. It's really clear. I'm aware that there are better cryptocurrencies, but people like you and me just get this. Of course, the things that people like about it, I agree with that. Like Bitcoin is the worst cryptocurrency because it was the first one ever made. XRP is better in every way. It can do things that Bitcoin can't. Yes, I do understand that, but it still means that it was the first to market, which put it in this position. And now it's almost been 10 years. Bitcoin is worth more than $100,000. You'll love seeing it. Okay. Moving away from Bitcoin and Ethereum has begun, and XRP's popularity is skyrocketing at the moment. In 2025, XRP is getting a bigger share of the market, and economic analysis shows that it is very different from Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, I'll stop now. I've lived here since 2017, so you should know that I've heard on social media that XRP has become less tied to the market at different times during both bull and bear markets. By looking at very short-term price changes, they've come to the conclusion that XRP is now different from the rest, which is something that many people really hope is true. In fact, though, XRP just moves along with the market. Yes, the basics of XRP are very important. XRP would not have stayed in the top 10 coins by market capitalization its whole life if it hadn't. But that's not the only thing that matters when the most exciting and fun price action happens, especially the last excitement. It doesn't really have anything to do with the usefulness at that point. XRP's marketplace is kept up by how useful it is, but that's just shopping ecstasy when you get the crazy moves that don't mean anything. There is nothing else going on here. Personally, I don't think there will ever be a time when XRP is separating and the market is going down, but XRP keeps trading. I don't think that's likely. But that's fine. There is nothing wrong with XRP if that is the case. There's nothing wrong with that at all. The stock market is the same way. It's just not as clear because there will be businesses that do well on their own. But I'm telling you that the crash will happen. People who lived through the dot-com bust, the great financial crisis, or the years 2008 to 2009 will tell you that everything comes apart. So even though Amazon's business measures were getting better, it wasn't because helpful companies went out of business like Amazon after the dot-com boom and bust. What about 90%? That's something to think about. In this way, XRP is similar. If anything, XRP is just getting better, but it will still go through stages of boom and bust like the rest of the market. And that's fine though. That's fine at all. Any way you look at it, this shows that XRP is going up on its own and that its level of dominance has been rising over the last few months. This is backed by new technical analysis and changes in the way the market is structured. Okay, so XRP's share of the market was 1% in November, but it's now closer to 5%.